Megalodon, 60 tons, 18 meters long, a bite force of 180,000 newtons, 10 times a great white shark, the largest predatory fish that ever lived, and it didn't hunt small prey. Fossil evidence shows bite marks on whale bones, not fish, whales. It targeted the largest animals in the ocean and won. The teeth alone reached 18 centimeters. A great white's tooth maxes out at 6. Everything about Megalodon was scaled up past the point of reason. Wider jaws than a car, a mouth large enough to swallow 2 adult humans standing side by side. It went extinct 3.6 million years ago. Scientists still debate why. Cooling oceans, collapsing prey populations, competition from smaller, faster predators. The ocean changed and Megalodon couldn't. The largest predator in Earth's history, killed not by something bigger, nothing was bigger, but by a world that stopped needing it. Titanoboa. 60 million years ago, Colombia was a swamp. Hot, humid, dense. The kind of heat that lets cold-blooded animals grow without limit. And something did. 13 meters long. Over 1,000 kilograms. A single vertebra the size of a dinner plate. Titanoboa was the largest snake ever, and it didn't have venom. Didn't need it. At that size, constriction doesn't squeeze, it crushes. Ribs collapse. Blood stops moving. Organs rupture. Prey died before processing what had grabbed them. Fossils show it ate crocodiles. Full-grown prehistoric crocodiles. Because when you're 1,000 kilograms of pure muscle, everything else qualifies as food. Then the climate cooled. Snakes need heat to grow. Titanoboa shrank back into evolutionary history, leaving behind bones and the permanent suggestion that the tropics, given enough warmth, will eventually produce something that shouldn't exist. Arctodus, short-faced bear. Terrible name for something that stood 3.5 meters tall on its hind legs and weighed 900 kilograms. For decades, scientists thought it was a pursuit predator. Long legs built for chasing prey across open Ice Age terrain. Recent bone analysis proved otherwise. Those legs were too fragile for sharp turns and high-speed chases. The skeleton wasn't built for sprinting. It was built for walking massive distances without tiring. The real strategy: arrive, dominate, steal. Arctodus likely traveled enormous ranges following the smell of death, then walked into whatever kill was in progress and refused to leave. A bite force over 4,000 newtons meant no predator argued. Direwolves backed down. Saber-tooth cats retreated. When Arctodus showed up, the kill changed ownership. It didn't need to hunt. It just needed to exist at a size where nothing wanted to find out what happened if they stayed. Deinosuchus. The name means terrible crocodile. For once, the name is accurate. 12 meters long, over 8 tons. Living 75 million years ago in the rivers and coastal swamps of North America, at a time when dinosaurs were the undisputed rulers of the continent, Deinosuchus had a different perspective on that arrangement. Fossil evidence shows bite marks on large dinosaur bones. Hadrosaurs, ceratopsians, animals that weighed several tons each. Deinosuchus wasn't ambushing small prey near the water's edge. It was dragging multi-ton dinosaurs into rivers and drowning them. The skull alone was 2 meters long. The bite force has been estimated at over 100,000 newtons, comparable to large theropod dinosaurs, but delivered from something that spent most of its time invisible just below the surface. Every large animal that came to drink in Deinosuchus territory was making a calculated risk. Sarcosuchus, 112 million years ago. A different continent, a different era. The same basic problem. A crocodile that grew past the limits of reasonable biology. 9 to 10 meters long, 8 tons. Sarcosuchus lived in the rivers of what is now the Sahara, back when it was a lush, water-dense ecosystem filled with large fish and terrestrial prey. Its skull made up nearly a quarter of its total body length. The eyes sat high, watching everything above the waterline while the body remained hidden beneath. Unlike modern crocodiles, the upper jaw ended in a distinctive bulbous tip called a bulla. The exact function still debated. Display, possibly. Sensory enhancement, possibly. What isn't debated? Sarcosuchus Deinosuchus was not a specialist. The jaw was built for generalist predation. Anything that came close enough to the riverbank was potential prey. It shared its ecosystem with large spinosaurid dinosaurs. Evidence suggests both competed for the same food sources. Two apex predators in the same rivers, both massive, neither willing to concede territory. That ecosystem no longer exists. The water is gone. The Sahara swallowed it. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat. Not a tiger, that's a misnomer that stuck for a century. Smilodon was closer to modern lions in body plan, but heavier, much heavier. Up to 400 kilograms, with forequarters so muscular the proportions look wrong by modern standards. The canines reached 28 centimeters. They weren't for crushing bone, they were too long, too fragile for that. Smilodon hunted by restraining prey with extraordinary upper body strength, pinning it until it couldn't move, then driving those canines into the throat or abdomen with surgical precision. A killing method that required complete physical domination before the killing blow. Fossil evidence suggests pack behavior. Multiple individuals, coordinated hunts targeting megafauna, mammoths, giant ground sloths, horses. Prey that no single predator could take alone. Smilodon survived for over 1 million years. It went extinct 10,000 years ago. The megafauna it depended on disappeared first. Hunted out, climate shifted, gone. A perfect killing machine with nothing left to kill. Cave lion, Panthera spelaea. 10% larger than a modern African lion, over 300 kilograms. A mane so reduced it barely existed, because when you're that size, intimidation doesn't require decoration. It hunted horses, bison, and young mammoths. Cave paintings across Ice Age Europe show it in pursuit, show humans watching it, show spears. The relationship between humans and cave lions was not simple. They competed for the same caves as shelter, the same prey as food. For tens of thousands of years, neither won completely. Cave lions ruled Europe for 370,000 years. They survived climate shifts, prey migrations, the slow spread of early humans. Then, 14,000 years ago, they vanished. The prey collapsed, the temperatures rose, and the cave lion, built for Ice Age conditions, had no adaptation left to make. Every major predator in Ice Age Europe eventually confronted the same wall. A world changing faster than evolution could answer. Quetzalcoatlus, the largest flying animal that has ever existed. Wingspan of 12 meters, the height of a modern giraffe when standing on the ground. It wasn't a bird and it wasn't a bat, it was a pterosaur, a flying reptile with a body plan that engineers still argue shouldn't have been able to sustain flight at that size. It did anyway. Quetzalcoatlus likely didn't hunt like a modern seabird, skimming water for fish. Recent biomechanical analysis suggests it was a terrestrial stalker, walking on folded wings across open floodplains, ambushing small dinosaurs and hatchlings the way a modern stork hunts frogs. Then, when threatened or ready to move, launching itself airborne with a single explosive pole vault jump using its enormous forelimbs. The sky above the late Cretaceous was not empty and peaceful. It had this in it. 12 meters of wingspan, a beak longer than a human is tall, cruising at altitude and looking down. It died with the dinosaurs 66 million years ago when the asteroid ended the Cretaceous and took the conditions that allowed something this size to fly with it.